As I look back on it, playing for Paul Brown was probably the best thing that ever happened to me.
Fight for each other, fight for the team, and you fight for one another. Win on three. 1, 2, 3, win. I can't stand the tide.
Mathiasen, wide open as Ken Johnson. Touchdown.
Just keep moving on.
It ain't nothing to it but to do it tonight, gentlemen. Let's go out here and get it done.
Intercepted by Riley. That's how we gonna beat their ass by being one together. To be one together, they cannot stop us. Think I better head on down the road.
Two more legends will be inducted into the Bengals Ring of Honor Monday evening, as Washington makes its first trip to the Queen City since 2008. Welcome into Bengals Weekly. I'm Marissa Concepelli. We are in store for a special halftime Monday night as Dillon and Tim Krumrie will be inducted into the Bengals Ring of Honor. The Bengals legends are remembered for their toughness and their dominance on the field. And those two traits are what Zach Taylor hopes his team brings against the Commanders as the Bengals take aim at win number 1 on the season. So as we get you set for kickoff between the Commanders and the Bengals in this Week 3 showdown, we head down to field level and check in with our undercover agent Orlando Brown, who is mic'd up against his former team. SWAT team standout Solomon Wilcots joins the show to preview Commanders versus Bengals. And on Countdown, I'll tell you what category Trey Hendrickson leads the league in. But first, the tight ends showed up last week as Mike Gesicki, Drew Sample, and Eric All combined for 151 receiving yards. That's the most by a Bengals tight end group in a game since 2000. It's also the second time in team history that 3 tight ends recorded 25 or more receiving yards in a single game.
I think we got a great grouping of tight ends. It could be more so in some games than others. Sometimes it gets you matchups in the run game. Sometimes it gets you matchups in the pass game.
And down to the 6 goes tight end Mike Gesicki.
That's been a part of where we saw this going all spring and training camp.
Like the whole staff, all your teammates, they know you can be a trusted guy. And that's what our position is a lot of times. We're going to do a lot of the things that nobody's even going to see or recognize, and you got to be that guy that's fired up to do all those things.
2 tight ends on the field. They are both good blockers, and it's a handoff to Zach Moss. Touchdown.
When you got guys you believe in, which we got several tight ends that we believe in, it allows you to be multiple and open it up, and I thought that was a good element of our offense yesterday.
Look at Gesicki.
Yeah, Mike's been phenomenal. Really, the first thing I think of is intelligence. Like, he's picked up the offense very, very fast. As the season progresses, I think that's really going to help us a ton of him just understanding football. He's just a unique person with how long he is and how fast he is. And, you know, I think you saw some of that last game where if we can get him in certain spots, like he can be a difference maker in the pass game.
He's an awesome kid to be around. For the first time, the fans and people watching the game saw it, but we've been kind of seeing it during training camp.
From when I met him and talked to him in the spring, he had the right attitude. He really wanted to learn. He kind of has that physical edge to him.
Play super physical, make plays in the pass game, and only your second game as a rookie in this league to go out there and execute at a high level like he did.
He puts a lot of work into it too on his own about studying the plays, and it's early in his career, but obviously I'm really excited to see kind of how he progresses and what he ends up being once he gets it really, really down.
Hey, E, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Good.
Drew, been here for 6 years now and understands the playbook more than anybody.
Drew with blocking, one of the best in the league at tight end at blocking, and I just asked him, what does he do, with his hands, and how does he sustain blocks?
Been a couple times where I was in the huddle and we break the huddle. Hey, Drew, what do we got? especially early on during training camp. So he's been a huge help, not only to myself but to all the guys. And I think the rookies are lucky to have a guy like that that's been in this system for so long.
So to have another guy out there that knows all of it as well and that can help, it's been, you can't even put a value on how important those things are.
The depth that we have, and we got guys all over the depth chart that can make plays.
We all are versatile in our own ways, and there's things that some guys are better at, and it's great from really a learning perspective. We all kind of see it similarly, but then we can also learn from what each person does.
James has been awesome to work with. He played the position in the league, and he understands how guys want to be coached, and he understands how guys need to be coached.
As a room, we talked about just reliability. When our number is called for any of us, being able to take advantage of our opportunities, get better week to week, improving, and then the rest will kind of take care of itself.
Hey, let's finish it. Let's go. Let's go, man. Let's go, dog. That's who we are.
Up next, we take you down to field level and listen in as Orlando Brown was mic'd up against the Chiefs. That's straight ahead here on Bengals Weekly. Bengals Weekly is brought to you by Kettering Health, the official healthcare provider of the Cincinnati Bengals, and Paycor, proud to be the official HR software provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. Welcome back to Bengals Weekly. Orlando Brown Jr. spent 2 seasons in Kansas City, so we figure we'd test out his undercover skills as the tackle had on the hot mic against his former team. We now take you down to field level and listen in as OBJ was mic'd up against the Chiefs.
The baddest mother in the world today, dog. That's the mindset. It's gonna be great. Let's do what the we do, dog. Let's go, man. You already know. Let's go, Lou. You already know. Let's go do it. Let's go. You already know. Shoot first, man. Yes, sir. Good luck today. Thank you. Hey, how are you? I'm good. Good to see you. Yes, sir. Good to see you. Brother. Yes, sir. Good to see you, brother. Love you, brother. Good luck today. Stay healthy, dog. Of course you do. Be you all day, brother. Let's go. Best tackle in the world. Come on, buddy. What's up, Goat? Yep. Let's go. Let's go. Have some fun. Have some fun. Great job, D. Great job. Great job. Let's go score here.
Looking, throwing, caught over the middle. Eric All.
Hey, E. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Good. Hey, let's finish it. Let's go.
To the end zone, pass. Yoshimash has the touchdown.
That's how you do it, brother. That's how you do it.
I ain't the last word of God, bro.
Let's go, man. Let's go, dog. That's who we are. Chris Dicey.
Great job, fellas.
Good Yos. Keep going, bro. Let's go.
Quick pass downfield. Chase was tackled before the ball arrived.
That's all he can do. Yes, sir. Let's go, baby. You already know, man. Y'all time to shine. Y'all time to shine. Let's go. Y'all time right now. Right here, 9-1. Right here, 9-1.
Hit by Trey Hendrickson. That's the first sack of the year. Burrow looking to throw. It is caught for the touchdown.
We said we're going to go up this thing. We see right. What's happening? We're right.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Come on, D. Come on, baby. Don't let him in.
And picked off. The Bengals are on their feet and running it back.
When I tell y'all, he does that in practice.
And the Bengals have their third takeaway.
That boy got gorilla glue on that.
Hey, that's how you respond, boy.
Come on. I got you, man. Let's go. I got you. I gotta tell you, boo. I got you, brother. You got it, bro.
When we return, we go from the Feds to the SWAT team. Bengals legend Solomon Wilcots joins us ahead of Monday's matchup against Washington. Game preview is up next here on Bengals Weekly. Bengals Weekly is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Visit kia.com to discover movement that inspires. And Alta Fiber, the official Wi-Fi and internet provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. Welcome back to Bengals Weekly. The Bengals defense looks to continue its stingy secondary ways against the Commanders on Monday night. And a guy who knows a thing or two about shutdown secondaries is SWAT team member Solomon Wilcots. Sally now joins Dan Horde to preview this Monday night matchup.
Our guest started for the Bengals in Super Bowl 23 as a member of the SWAT team secondary. He is currently the host of the Believe in Bengals podcast, and he is our friend. It's great to visit with Solomon Wilcots. Sally, how you feeling about the Bengals after the heartbreaking 1-point loss at Kansas City last week?
Look, I think the team played much better week 2 than week 1. I love the fact that the defense came to play. And man, I can't say enough about the energy of Trey Hendrickson that he plays with. He makes you proud to be a Bengals fan.
Have you seen a better interception than Cam Taylor-Britt's one-handed snag? And what do you think of his development as the Bengals' quote-unquote shutdown corner?
Very confident young man. He has a knack and a flair for making plays. And that play he made was one of the greatest interceptions you're ever going to see. And he made it look easy, backhanded the ball with one hand while still having just great relationship to the receiver.
Solly, let's talk about Joe Burrow. 2 touchdown passes, no picks, a passer rating of 103.7. What stood out to you about his play at Kansas City?
And I'm the biggest Joe Burrow fan there is. I will say this, Joe is getting into rhythm now. He's getting into a better feel for some of the new players around him, like Andre Yoshivas, the assortment of tight ends that he's throwing to.
Those tight ends combined for 14 catches for 151 yards. They played 2 and 3 tight ends quite a bit during the course of the game. Did we see kind of the next evolution of the Bengals offense where they can do that more?
Eric Hall is as good as you could ever be at the position. I think you're watching a star in the making, and I don't want to speak too prematurely. He's got a bright future ahead of himself. And look, we even got deeper rotation than that at the tight end position, so I think it's just going to keep coming.
The Washington Commanders come to town on Monday night, led by the Heisman Trophy winner from last year, the second pick in the draft, Jaden Daniels. He hasn't thrown a touchdown pass yet, but he's on a pace to run for more than 1,100 yards. What are going to be some of the keys to limiting him on Monday night?
Jaden Daniels, I watched him play for Herm Edwards, and he was at Arizona State. And I went out there and watched him play, and I remember he was a freshman. He was poised then. And now you see him as a rookie. The guy, one thing he has now for a young quarterback, I know these other guys, they get deer in the headlights look. You don't see that with Jaden Daniels. We're going to have to get to him and touch him up. But we got Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard. These guys can get after it. Hopefully we have some guys to play on the interior part of our defensive line.
Sally, always great to pick your brain. Appreciate the time. Look forward to seeing you soon.
All right, Dan, all the best to you. We will see you soon, my friend. Thank you.
This fall, the Bengals have teamed up with Ohio Cat to bring the jungle to you. Every Friday during the high school football season, we will be out at a different high school football game, cheering on our local teams. Earlier this month, Houday and the Bengals were out at Taft High School as the Senators hosted the Alter Knights. Students and fans had the opportunity to take pictures with Houday, show off their best school spirit, and win great prizes. Rule your school and be on the lookout for Friday Night Stripes, because the Bengals and Ohio Cat could be coming to your game next. Houday Nation, it's time to recognize our high school coaches. Nominate your coach for the Bengals Coach of the Week, presented by Paycor. Visit Bengals.com/Coach of the Week for more information. Coming up next on Consapelli's Countdown, the duo in the middle hit a mark last Sunday that no Bengals linebacker tandem has hit in almost 12 years. I'll tell you why they're
The best in the world.
next, here on Bengals Weekly. Welcome back to Bengals Weekly. We've become accustomed to seeing Trey Hendrickson wreak havoc on opposing quarterbacks, as Hendrickson continues to show his dominance as one of the best edge rushers in the league, as his 55 sacks since the start of 2020 is third most in the NFL in that span. Hendrickson is coming off a career year with 17.5 sacks a season ago, as he continues to be a quarterback's worst nightmare. Hendrickson took down Patrick Mahomes twice last Sunday, marking the 12th time in his career he has recorded a multi-sack game.
Back to throw, cocks the arm. Trey Hendrickson, tomahawk chops him to the ground.
His 3 quick QB pressures against the Chiefs came under 2.5 seconds, as his 8 total quick pressures on the season is the most in the NFL. And despite Hendrickson getting double-teamed 30% of the time this season, his 39 pass rush win rate is tops in the league among all edge rushers. Jermaine Pratt and Logan Wilson have been as consistent as they come, and in Week 2, the duo combined for 28 total tackles, making it the most by a pair of Bengals since Vontaze Burfict and Ray Maluga did it in 2012. Both linebackers currently have 24 tackles on the season, tied for second most in the league entering Week 3. Pratt's 16 tackles against KC set a new career high and is the 4th most in a game by a Bengal since 1994. Well, the secondary continued its stingy ways against the Chiefs. The defense has allowed the second fewest passing yards in the league this season and is the only team to have given up less than 100 total air yards on completions through 2 weeks. Mahomes' 151 passing yards is the lowest he has thrown in a full start in his career, as the Chiefs QB only completed 6 passes past the line of scrimmage. The 33 completions the defense has given up on the season is tied for 4th lowest in the league.
Mahomes in the gun. Mahomes from the pocket. Throws toward the left sideline and picked off.
What an interception. My goodness, Cam Taylor-Britt pulled it down with one hand.
Well, one of the highlight plays from the secondary on Sunday came at the hand of Cam Taylor-Britt. CTB's 90 PFF grade was a new career high and second among all corners for the week. His 88 coverage grade on the season is tops among all corners, as Taylor-Britt has allowed just 3 completions in 60 coverage snaps. And for the offensive side, the O-line ranks 5th in the league in both run block win rate and pass block win rate through 2 weeks, as Orlando Brown is tops in the league with a 100% pass block win rate among all tackles. And Cordell Volson comes in second among all interior linemen with an 85 run block win rate. Consapelli's Countdown is brought to you by your local Kia dealers. Discover what happens when rugged capability meets true performance. To learn more, visit kia.com. Kia, movement that inspires. It's now time for this week's Kettering Health Fantasy Reports. Mike Gesicki posted 16 fantasy points after hauling in 7 receptions for 91 yards in Week 2, making him the 5th highest tight end for the week. Gesicki's 91 receiving yards is the most he has had in a game since Week 6 of 2021. Evan McPherson's 16 fantasy points marked him as the 5th highest kicker in Week 2, after Money Mac was 4 for 4 on field goal attempts, including sinking a 53-yarder in the 4th quarter. McPherson enters Week 3 as the 8th highest fantasy scoring kicker on the season. And on the other side, rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels hasn't recorded a passing touchdown yet this season, but is coming off his best outing after throwing 226 yards and completing 79% of his passes in Week 2. Good for just over 13 fantasy points. Well, coming up Monday night at Paycor Stadium, it's our Ring of Honor induction. At halftime, Tim Krumrie and Corey Dillon will take their place among the greats to ever play for this franchise, as their names will be cemented in Bengals history forever. They will join the likes of Paul Brown, Anthony Munoz, Ken Anderson, Isaac Curtis, Ken Riley, Boomer Esiason, Chad Johnson, and Willie Anderson. Kickoff is set for 8:15 Eastern on ABC Monday night against the Washington Commanders. And if you're heading out to the game, make sure you are in the seats for player intros so you can participate and light up the jungle. Well, thanks for tuning in to Bengals Weekly. Kickoff is coming up Monday night from the jungle between the Commanders and the Bengals for our Ring of Honor game. For Dan Horde and our entire crew, I'm Marissa Contepelli. We'll see you next week. Bengals Weekly was brought to you by Paycor, proud to be the official HR software provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. AltaFiber, the official Wi-Fi and internet provider of the Cincinnati Bengals. And Kettering Health, the official healthcare provider of the Cincinnati Bengals.